I lost everything in less than 15 minutes. The judge hadn't even looked at me when she signed the first document. My house. Gone. My savings. Gone. My retirement. Gone. I sat there in silence while my wife, Rebecca, stared straight ahead, calm and composed. She didn't look angry. She didn't look emotional. She looked finished, like I was already erased. Her lawyer stood confidently beside her, flipping pages with practiced ease. Mine leaned toward me slowly. "Marcus," he whispered, "there's nothing more we can do. Nothing more." 12 years of marriage reduced to paperwork and signatures. Rebecca hadn't looked at me once. Not when the judge transferred the house into her name. Not when my accounts were listed. Not even when custody terms were finalized. Like I wasn't a person anymore. Just an obstacle that had been cleared. My hands rested on the table, motionless. I didn't trust them not to shake. I looked toward Rebecca briefly. She was calm. Certain. Victorious. Then, beside her, my daughter Lily shifted in her chair. She hadn't said a word the entire hearing. Until now. She stood up suddenly. Her small voice cut through the courtroom silence. "Your Honor," she said, her hands trembling slightly, "can I show you something?" The judge frowned. Rebecca turned sharply. And for the first time that day, my wife looked afraid. Rebecca's hand shot out instantly and grabbed Lily's wrist. "Sit down," she whispered sharply. Too sharply. Lily froze. The judge noticed. "Mrs. Hale," the judge said calmly, "let her speak." Rebecca hesitated. That half-second told me everything. She wasn't worried about embarrassment. She was worried about exposure. Slowly, Rebecca released her. Lily stood there, small and fragile in a room built for adults who destroyed each other politely. She looked at me first. Not her mother. Me. Her eyes were wet but steady. "I found something," she said quietly. Rebecca stood up suddenly. "Your Honor, she's a child. She doesn't understand." "Sit down," the judge said firmly. Rebecca obeyed. But her composure was gone now. Her fingers tightened around the edge of the table. Lily reached into her backpack with shaking hands and pulled out a small black phone. Not hers. Rebecca's. "I wasn't trying to snoop," Lily said softly. "Mom left it in the kitchen last week." My chest tightened. Rebecca's face went pale. "She was in the garage," Lily continued, her voice breaking slightly. "She didn't know I was still inside." Rebecca stood up again. "This is inappropriate. This has nothing to do with—" "Enough," the judge said. The courtroom was silent now. Everyone was watching Lily. She held the phone carefully, like it was heavier than it looked. Then she said the one sentence that made Rebecca stop breathing. She was talking to someone about Dad's accounts. The air in the courtroom changed instantly. Not loudly, but completely. Rebecca didn't move. Didn't blink. Her entire body had gone still. "What do you mean?" the judge asked Lily gently. Lily looked down at the phone in her hands. "She was in the garage," Lily said quietly. She said, "Once the court signs everything, he won't be able to touch it. He'll have nothing left." My stomach dropped. Rebecca's lawyer stood up quickly. "Your Honor, this is hearsay. A child's interpretation." Lily shook her head. "I recorded it," she said. Silence. Complete silence. Rebecca turned toward Lily slowly. Not angry. Terrified. The judge leaned forward. "You recorded it?" Lily nodded and held up the phone. Rebecca's lawyer stepped in immediately. "Your Honor, we object to any unauthorized recordings." The judge raised her hand. "I will decide what I consider." Rebecca's breathing had changed now. Faster. Shallow. Her perfect composure was gone. The judge looked directly at Lily. "Can you play it?" Lily's hands trembled as she unlocked the phone. Rebecca stood up suddenly. "Your Honor, this is unnecessary." "Sit down," the judge said sharply. Rebecca didn't argue. She couldn't. Because she knew what was coming. Lily pressed the screen. And Rebecca's voice filled the courtroom. Cold. Calculated. Unrecognizable. "Once the judge signs it, everything transfers to me," Rebecca's recorded voice said clearly. No emotion. No hesitation. Just certainty. The sound of her pacing echoed faintly in the background. "He trusts the system," she continued. "He won't even realize what happened until it's over." My chest tightened. Every person in that courtroom heard it. Rebecca's lawyer froze beside her. The judge didn't interrupt. Didn't blink. The recording continued. "I moved the money months ago," Rebecca said casually. "Into accounts he doesn't know exist." The words hit harder than anything else. Not anger. Not betrayal. Planning. Preparation. Intent. Rebecca stood there now, motionless, staring at the floor like she could disappear into it. The recording ended. Silence followed. Heavy. Permanent. The judge slowly turned her eyes toward Rebecca. "Mrs. Hale," she said calmly, "is that your voice?" Rebecca opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Nothing came out. For the first time in 12 years. She had no control over the situation. Her lawyer stepped forward quickly. "Your Honor, context matters." The judge raised her hand. "No," she said firmly. Then she looked down at the file in front of her. The same file that had just taken everything from me minutes earlier. Her pen rested beside it. Waiting. And suddenly, for the first time that day, it wasn't finished yet. The judge didn't speak immediately. She replayed the recording herself. Every word. Every pause. Every intention. Rebecca stood frozen beside her lawyer, her hands clenched so tightly her knuckles turned white. The confidence she walked in with was gone. Replaced by something raw. Fear. The judge finally looked up. "Mrs. Hale," she said calmly, "you stated you moved marital funds into undisclosed accounts prior to this hearing." Rebecca's lawyer stepped forward quickly. "Your Honor, this is being misinterpreted." "Answer the question," the judge said firmly. Rebecca swallowed. Her voice, when it came, was smaller than I'd ever heard it. I was protecting myself. Not denying it. Admitting it. The courtroom reacted with quiet murmurs. The judge didn't. She turned her attention to Rebecca's attorney. "Were these accounts disclosed in your financial declarations?" Her lawyer hesitated. That hesitation said everything. "No, Your Honor," he admitted carefully. The judge leaned back slightly, her expression unchanged. Then she looked at Rebecca again. "You understand," she said calmly, "that failure to disclose marital assets is a serious violation." Rebecca's composure cracked completely now. "This isn't fair," she said suddenly. "He would have taken everything from me." The words hung in the air. Not defensive. Revealing. Because she hadn't acted out of protection. She'd acted out of certainty. Certainty she would win. But now, for the first time, she wasn't winning anymore. Rebecca's lawyer leaned toward her urgently, whispering something I couldn't hear. It didn't matter. The damage was already done. The judge closed the file in front of her slowly. "Mrs. Hale," she said calmly, "this court relies on full financial transparency from both parties." Rebecca didn't respond. She couldn't. Her entire strategy depended on silence and control. Both were gone now. The judge turned toward the clerk. "I want a full forensic review of all financial disclosures submitted in this case." Rebecca's lawyer stood up immediately. "Your Honor, that would be excessive." "No," the judge said firmly. "What would be excessive is allowing this court to be misled." The room went quiet. Rebecca's breathing had become shallow. Unstable. She wasn't looking at the judge. She wasn't looking at her lawyer. She was looking at Lily. Her own daughter. The one person she hadn't accounted for. Lily stood beside her chair, small and still, clutching the phone. Not proud. Not triumphant. Just honest. Rebecca's voice cracked slightly. "Lily, you don't understand what you've done." Lily didn't answer. She didn't need to. Because for the first time since this hearing began, the outcome wasn't under Rebecca's control anymore. And everyone in that courtroom could see it. Even her. The judge called for a short recess. Rebecca sat down slowly, like her legs no longer trusted her. Her lawyer spoke rapidly beside her, his calm professionalism gone. He wasn't guiding anymore. He was containing damage. I stayed where I was. I didn't feel victorious. I felt awake. Rebecca finally looked at me. Really looked at me. Not with anger. Not with hatred. With realization. She knew. She knew the version of the story she built was collapsing. Across the aisle, Lily walked quietly toward me. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She just stood beside my chair. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I shook my head gently. "You did nothing wrong." Her small hand slipped into mine. I hadn't realized how much I needed that. Behind us, Rebecca watched. Alone. For the first time since this began, she had no advantage. No strategy. No certainty. The judge returned minutes later and sat down. Everyone stood. Everyone waited. She opened the file again. But this time her attention wasn't on me. It was on Rebecca. "Based on the newly presented evidence," she said calmly, "this court will be revisiting its previous determinations." Rebecca's lawyer stiffened. Rebecca didn't move. Didn't breathe. Because she understood what that meant. Everything she thought she'd secured, was no longer hers. The judge adjusted her glasses and looked directly at Rebecca. "Mrs. Hale," she said calmly, "this court finds that you intentionally failed to disclose marital assets and acted in bad faith." Rebecca didn't speak. She couldn't. The confidence she carried into this courtroom had been replaced by something hollow. Consequences. Effective immediately, the judge continued, all prior financial awards are suspended pending forensic investigation. Rebecca's lawyer leaned toward her, whispering urgently. It didn't matter. The shift had already happened. The judge turned another page. Additionally, this court will be reconsidering asset division in light of this misconduct. Rebecca's entire future had just been reduced to uncertainty. The same uncertainty she'd planned for me. She finally looked at Lily. Not with anger. Not with blame. With disbelief. She never imagined the one person she trusted to remain silent would be the one to reveal the truth. I stood slowly, my hand still holding Lily's. Rebecca looked at me. Her expression wasn't rage. It was realization. Not of what she'd lost, but of what she'd destroyed. She hadn't lost because of me. She'd lost because she believed she couldn't lose. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. Because as we walked out of that courtroom together, for the first time that day, I wasn't the one who had nothing left.